Hello everybody and welcome to Waylander Gaming. This is Waylander here with Lotus as we're bringing you game number 1 of our best of 3 series. And Lotus, if you can introduce the teams, introduce the lobby bands, that would be really nice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be Ragnarok Esports versus Warlords Reborn. The lobby bands were Zushin, Export, Glue, and
because
Alice.
I saved my nation from falling
And
apart.
here we are into the drafting lobby, with Eamon being the first to get banned out, which is actually pretty interesting.
Well, these two teams done pretty well to get to this particular point. Is there any side that you're favoring?
I've been a big fan of Warlords Reborn for a while. They've been surprising us at a lot of turns, and
The clouds are ever shifting,
definitely,
but this heart remains
I would say their
steadfast.
team fight has been good in several matches.
Well, let's see what they bring to the table. Let's stand down, but just we'll see what they bring to the table. Let me just get this set out so that people are aware that we're live, because you never know.
Yeah.
Though, if you are
Yeah.
subscribed to the channel, Lotus, right? Don't you think that everyone should know
Yeah.
that we're live at 8 p.m. pretty much every day?
Crowned by heaven's mandate, my legacy shall
That is
endure.
true. I mean, unless it's like the December vacation, which everyone goes through, we're always live at PM for either PUBG or Mobile Legends or both.
Yeah, that's true. There's a few moments where things are a little bit calm, but getting back to the picks, Gatto is always, as you would have heard me say this many times, right? One of my favorite picks
Your team is picking.
to go for. Yeah, has a certain degree of flexibility, but mainly meant to be played on the roam. Is one of the strongest roamers in the game. And as a counter to that, they decided to go for Overlord, picking up the Zetchian, just to provide that little bit of pokeability. Just try to poke that Gatto down, stop him being so much in your face.
Your team is picking.
Definitely, and with her passive, it's difficult for him even to use his ult very effectively because he can just jump, but he's immediately pushed away if she does have her passive in hand.
Yeah, exactly. That passive of hers comes in very, very, very handy. So what are you making of the spell, though? Would you really want to go vengeance on the
Chivalry is dead, and
Your
I will
team is
revive it.
banning.
A lot about Gato, but I do know some people like using the Revitalize on him because that makes it much more useful in long team fights and whenever you want to go for invades or aggressive plays.
Yeah, so Lotus here just giving herself showing us that she does not play a roam, because apparently she hates roam. So all the roamers out there,
Your team is banning.
you know where to find her. She's on the socials. What? I'm just kidding. Okay. If you look at the side of Ragnarok here, Askeladd, Tempo, Geiji. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Unless you're supposed to do this with like an Afrikaner twang with the
to
ha.
protect it till my last
Or what would
breath.
that be? Geiji. Geiji. Alright, we're not going to do that. I'm sorry, it's from Madagascar. So no Afrikaner. Haji. Right, Beatrix, Cyclops. Cyclops recently, right? Especially if you're playing solo queue. I've been noticing quite a few people picking up Cyclops. Was Cyclops like secretly buffed or something?
No
Because like the cooldown of his skills is very low these days.
That is true, but as you will always notice, is that whenever a hero gets a nice skin, especially if it's from a collab, then people like to spam the hero much more.
True, very true. Which is, in my opinion, a crazy strategy to use when you're playing a competitive game. Is that I'm gonna play this hero because it's skin. What you need to do is pick the hero based on you know, team fight synergy, etc. Like, for instance, now if we're taking a look at the team on the left, right, which is Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
You've got the Fred to control the front line. You've got both Gatto and Yuzong to dive the back line. A Cyclops to provide that single bit of burst damage onto anybody. Also has a bit of control. And then obviously you've got massive AoE damage coming out from the Beatrix, which is quite a good combination. But on the other hand, you have Warlords Reborn. Okay, they've got the Kufra into the mix. I would say a little bit early the Kufra was picked up. So Kufra is more of a pick-off kind of aroma. So you're going to expect him to, you know, try to get those sets going. And it might be a little bit difficult, especially up against a Gatto who's always going to kind of be in your face. So a lot of pressure is going to be placed onto him just to sort of maintain that front line. But that CC pick coming through could provide what they need, because like Warlords Reborn with the draft that they have to be ultra disciplined.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
That is actually very true, but I do like the side of Ragnarok's draft just a little bit more. The only problem was the Cyclops, because when you have a lot of CC AoE potential coming out from the side of Ragnarok, you would want a high CC AoE mage like an Eve, a Farsa, even a Zitian would have worked quite nicely here.
Yeah, true, very true, very true. But you know, can't hate on the SpongeBob skin.
Yes, I can. I definitely can.
When somebody does not know the dark history of SpongeBob, I'll tell you that when we're on break, right? Actually, is a bit of a dark history. As SpongeBob, with that poke factor that he does have, piling on some pressure, we're just watching Overlord just had a deal with that, using the range here from the Zeshian, but passive being procced quite early now from the Gatto, as everybody's making their movement towards the Litho. Hayabusa, as per usual, would have the faster jungle clear. Both teams rotating here towards the gold lane, and this battle here now for control is going to begin. Gatto is just being in everybody's face right now.
But this clan does do a lot of damage, and I would say this is just a little bit stronger than a Beatrix early game. But the Revitalize was wasted here, especially 20 seconds before the turtle.
Yeah, the turtle being up very, very, very soon. What is it, like a 80-second cooldown? 70-second cooldown on Revitalize. Oh, meanwhile, there's the engagement. Clint manages to second scale back as Gatto took a bit of damage, but they got the Clint kind of low. But early rotations now from the teams towards that turtle being started up as we're just watching that Yuzong. He's being that sort of protecting force here. Nice engagement onto the Kufra. Pops that Petrify first blood. Hayabusa with the patience gets the steal. Black Dragon form comes. There's a Fury of the Phoenix. Oh, our Princess Rap does land onto CC. She's in a lot of danger. Yuzong with the zoning though, just keeping everybody honest. There's the lock onto the Zushin, but I think the timing there between Gatto and Cyclops could have been better. I mean, the taunt needed to land maybe like 2 seconds later, and it would have synergized really nicely with what is Cyclops' ultimate's name?
Let me double check for you because
A floating cage. That's what it looks like.
Star Power Lockdown once again getting committed here, but still dealing a lot of damage. Seems like Kufra going in with the Tyrant Swift, but Hayabusa getting taken just now with Zitian. Doing a lot of damage. Gatto managing to dash onto one, but can't make too much out of it right now.
Yeah, Kufra tries to get a counter engage going onto Ramatri there on that guy, but it's just full on jungle invade. So we expected this kind of playstyle once we saw the draft from Ragnarok. They had a lovely bit of synergy between them and all the the heroes that they selected. So you expected something good to come out, right? But Fredrin, with the jungle invades, lots of pressure being placed onto Hayabusa, tries to steal the farm, but there's a lock onto Zetchit. Gato trying to get the setup with the taunt, goes in, but the Black Dragon farm should be there to finish off. Meanwhile, the Fredrin with the chase manages to secure a stolen buff. This is Yuzong. This is why you ban a Yuzong.
Definitely, and
Oh, Shayna just escaped. Yeah, that was the great escape.
Definitely, but in the meantime, Kufra managed to get the help the Clint get a pick off and even get the entire golden piece of the turret. So that does give the Clint a bit of the upper hand.
That's an interesting name. Golden piece
What
of
is an
turret.
interesting- Oh, the shield!
Yeah, but Clint doing quite a decent job here dealing with this Beatrix. I'm just following this battle here. Though there is a huge bit of engagement here on the top lane as well. It was action central in both places there. Once again, Yuzong with the setup. Kineki, they're just enjoying life as a Black Dragon. It's a 4-0-2 at this moment in time. Just a very strong performance.
Definitely, and with the consistent rotations coming out from pretty useful. But if you have the Phoenix getting committed right now, it's a lot of action here. Enemy turret. But Yuzong once again getting a double kill her onto the Hayabusa and the Clint, seeing a lot of danger, and they have to retreat just in time.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful play into the backline. Beatrix trying to dish out the damage here. But once more, this might be a bit dangerous. Gato manages to get the setup and the control. The reason I say it's a bit dangerous is you got the positional advantage. And obviously it's 11-2, but oh, beautiful engage from Kufra. Doesn't have the Tyrus Wrath available, but the Shadow Kill does come out. It's godlike for this Yuzong, who just sustains through everything. And, well, there was a spell swap with Gato, showing why Revitalize on a Gato is so important.
Definitely, but if that Kufra had a bit of backup, it could have been really dangerous for the side of Ragnarok.
Killing spree.
If the Tyrant's Wrath wasn't not on cooldown, could have had a beautiful set in there. But so far, just the one tier 1 turret taken down as we're heading into the 6.5 minute mark. Third and final turtle should be up. I'm thinking we should see one more turret being taken down. So, Ragnarok, they need to start translating their early game dominance into some map control. Nice taunt coming through. Kufra with a re-engage, but Gato taking way too much damage. Fredrin with the jungle invades once more. He's been timing. Oh, the praises Wrath. You know, Lotus, right? There's something so nice about witnessing an awesome appraiser's wrath. I don't know what it is about that skill. It sort of gets you off your seat.
Because it goes so into slow motion, and that just increases that apprehension. But Gato going in with the AOG, managing to get out the passive from the Satian, but Beatrix dealing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, almost got that ultimate snipe off, but a little bit of fancy feet. It looks like Zetchin was taking those tango classes. Meanwhile, the Yuzong is went into the back line. Fury of the Phoenix did get committed. I mean, okay, if you were 7-0-3, right, I'm sure you'd also want to dive everybody underneath the turret as well. Probably feel like Superman.
Definitely, and also because Yuzong kind of falls off in the late game if you're not careful and you don't play accordingly in the late game. So you want to make as much as you can in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, oh, the shadow kill comes out from Hayabusa, knowing there's no appraiser's rat, but Sekiro, actually a bit like the game itself, just so all about survival, managed to take all that damage, kills 2. Oh, but the Tyrus Rat! If there was ever a moment that there was a set that needed the team to follow up, a 4-man Tyrus Rat by the Kufra. It's just only Clint there to dish out the damage. It was just not quite enough.
Being seriously aggressive, especially for a little tiny man, but Fear of the Phoenix also getting committed right now as well. Supporting both Fair jumps in as well as Black Dragon form. So I don't think they'll be able to make too much of this fight. They are getting quite low.
Yeah, there's so much pressure. The control, Sekiro on this Fredrin has been quite on point. I mean, I know we were talking about Hineki on that Yuzong, but I mean, Fredrin no slouch in this game at all. But I think who might actually pull the MVP would be the Gato. He's been having some plays.
Definitely, and his entire KDA makes about 15 out of 18. That's how people usually get the MVPs.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been 4 deaths in the entire team. Oh, and 2 of them went to SpongeBob.
I mean, he's just soaking all of the damage up like a sponge.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's a bit of a dark tale, but we will get into that. Uncontested Lord as to be expected, and the Holy Shields are still available, right? So for Warlord Reborn, so they have the opportunity to try to mount the defense. They have at least a decent amount of wave here, but look at the Tyrant's Wrath with the setup, this time onto 2. However, Yuzong has other ideas. He pops a Black Dragon form out as it's going to be a complete turnaround. The counter engage here from Ragnarok just too hot to handle. I mean, that setup from Kufra was on point.
The issue is right now they're quite lacking in damage, so with Ragnarok that keeps pushing in the waves, they need to focus more on farming and trying to avoid the fights.
Yeah, exactly. You're just gonna have to be patient. Patience is the name of the game. Oh, there's the lock, there's the control, onto the Clint, he's gonna get blown up, but the Tyrant's Wrath this time being avoided. It's a triple kill for the Beatrix. Can she get the Maniac? Shadow kill comes out. Oh, Yuzong, I mean, Frederick steals the Maniac. It's CC left alive to defend, only the waves are pushing in. This is the ending angle that they were looking for. Beatrix just allowing her team to zone for her. The Fury of the Phoenix does come out. There is one more wave as Beatrix is trying to reposition in here. Has the opportunity to lock on. The minion chipping away at the base, and that's going to be first game going the way of Ragnarok.
That was a complete storm coming out from the side of Ragnarok, just managing to get the dominance in the early game. And that's also a problem with Hayabusa. If he struggles early game, it's really difficult to get him up in the late game.
Agreed. He fell off the meta a little bit, shall we say. There was a time, like a couple of seasons back, where Hayabusa was one of those must-pick, must-ban heroes. Things have changed somewhat. Still there and thereabouts. He has his place. But the thing that Ragnarok had on their side, and I will say this, they won this game in the draft. Like, we know that Warlords Reborn, a strong team, strong players, but here in the draft that Ragnarok had, they had pretty much everything that you were looking for.
Whether this good is a rare sight in the...
To deal with it from early into the late game.
Definitely.
But with that being said, I actually need to put the poll up.
One thing though, I think the biggest issue came in with the Kufra first pick, and then he could just have been countered. So maybe a stronger hero that you take for a first pick would work better for a team.
Yeah. So we need to ask our referee. It's not all nice and well and good to be excited about Mobile Legends, but let's let the teams play.
I Now that you mention it, we should maybe do something where all of the admin play together because they're refereeing the matches, continuously doing all the other admin tasks, but they don't really get a chance to play all the time.
Yes, that's true. That is very true. It's sometimes somewhat a little bit of a thankless job. So, I'll say thank you to everybody now. However, it's not a bad idea. For us to have something like that. Maybe we'll verse the viewers at home. Oh, well, I think now it's a viewer, which would be Beanies. She's the only one in chat. We'll all verse Beanies.
Well, you can always come from. Oh, that would actually be interesting.
So, Beanies, are you up for a 1v5? And Aubrey is here as well. Alright, so teams getting. Are they going for a bit of swap out here, Ragnarok? I don't know, they seem to have worked quite nicely.
True. Just have to double check by the riffs of what's going on.
Okay, so we're gonna get into those lobby bans while we're waiting for the players to get themselves set. And then we can head into the second game. Potentially final game in this particular match. Because it's Ragnarok who have a bit between their teeth. They do have the advantage right now, leading the series 1-0. So for them, it's sort of match point. But Warlords, this is what happens with those second games. You look back at what happened in the first game, and you're probably going to pick up a few things that you need to adjust in terms of strategy.
Also work on the drafting because that was where the biggest problem came.
Yes. Like, so you can ban out certain picks and certain combinations for the team in front of you. Though we will be saying this, right? Since we've decided to go all digital and get the website up and running for Waylander Gaming. One of the things that we're going to have, and I don't want to speak too much about it. Once it's launched, I'll say who developed what, did what, when, and how with regards to that site. But the stats tracker, I think, is going to be a very popular feature. So imagine this, Lotus, right? Let's say you're part of Warlords Reborn. You're going to be facing Ragnarok, but you want to know in the last couple of tournaments what they've been picking, what combos they've been going for. You could very easily go onto our website and actually check. So you don't have to go and try to find the right streams and rewind and whatever, right? Everything's going to be linked onto that one single page. It's going to prove to be very, very interesting. I wonder whether we will see certain teams climb up with the ability to have that advanced preparation.
It can definitely be more helpful because the homework, and then also seeing your own stats when it comes to the victories and how many losses you have. So you can see, oh, this draft, we used it so many times, but this didn't work, that part didn't work, and this one didn't work.
Yes. Exactly. It's going to be very
Time
useful.
and tide wait for no
one of the
team
reasons
is
why
no girl.
We've decided to go down this route, right, is in order to help. The one thing that we really want on our server is for gameplay to start improving so that we can get towards that pro level kind of setup, because we've got players with some fantastic individual talent. We just need to get sort of the practice going in terms of how the 5-man synergy works, the different rotations, the different strategies, right?
My kiss.
But with that being said,
Will it
Your
grant
the
team
drafting phase
immortality?
is one of the
Or
points in time in the
death?
game where strategy is so massively important. And when you see certain picks or certain bands come through, it sort of gives you an idea of what you want to pick up yourself.
Mm.
So like
The clouds are
for
ever
instance, okay,
shifting. Your
Beatrix is
heart
clearly
remains
a
steadfast.
respect ban, right? And then banning out the Thalmos means that they want to give their XP laner a better time. Though I actually believe that they should have gotten rid of either the Yuzong or the Gacho, because those two really caused havoc in the previous match.
That is honestly very true because the Beatrix only became a problem late game after she got the farm. But like you said, it was the YZ and the Gacha that wreaked havoc, so you want to take out the bigger problem.
Now Akai enters the scene.
Yes, exactly.
I've been waiting
Your
for too
team
long.
is
Now we have
It works. Well,
the carry pick coming through, right? I suppose carry, if carry can come online, that will be what you could use to deal with the Gato and Yuza.
Only love
I'm gonna have to
Your
agree with
team
you.
is
Everlasting.
The problem is if you pick a carry, then you can. If you pick a carry first before the other MM, and it is difficult because now they can pick a Claude, a Leslie, anyone with more range than you, which is the majority of
crowned
marksmen.
by heaven's
Yes,
mandate.
carry is,
My legacy
shall we say, she has short
endure.
arms, not the longest range. But
Yes.
this comes down to those micro skills that we always talk about, right? Macro, as important as it is, micro is still there, and when you're outranged, you've got to know how to itemize correctly.
Hanabi, Sanjo,
Your emblem setup has
Your
to be
team
a
is
certain
picking.
way, and then from there you need to obviously position properly. It can deal with that, being outranged.
Definitely. So you also have to
Valor
understand
and
the
royalty
hero
in a
matchups,
dead
Your
body.
team
which is
picking.
something that I see a lot of side laners are looking more into and putting more research in. Because if you can win your lane
Stars guide me
easier,
to
it will
him.
help your team during the team fights and objective fights.
Yes, exactly. Though, when we say win lanes, right? Well, it's interesting that there are multiple ways to win a lane, so to speak, right? Because winning a lane doesn't necessarily, you dominate and kill the person that's opposite you, your opposition. It also involves like things like understanding when to clear lane, when to freeze lane, so that you can make certain types of rotations. Like winning the lane is varied, and well, you're going to see it's going to be carry up against the Brody. We will see the spell swaps now because obviously it's going to be Sora onto the XP lane. Right, there's a bit of a swap there. Popple and Cooper jungle. I'm not too sure about. But going back to that whole range thing, Cadmia up against Askeladd. Brody is really stretching it now when we're talking about the differences in range between one hero and the next.
Yes, that is true, and it's a bit easier for Brody to cash someone out. Even if he doesn't have his ult, he's still late game. He can still easily take care of a carry. But like you said, it's once again gonna come down to the macro skills.
Yes. I mean, Brody was one of... It happens occasionally, right? Like where I got when Brody was first released. This is one of the few heroes I got day one Savage with.
Legends.
It's
5
actually insane.
seconds till the enemy
Yeah, but
reaches
that
the
wasn't me,
battlefield.
though.
Smash them.
Granted, obviously I was playing the
All
hero.
troops
It was actually down to the roamer that we had. Whoever he was is an unsung hero. He was a Tigreal, got a 5-man set. So I was just like, oh, thank you very much. Torn apart memory. Bye-bye, everybody. And normally when you get a Savage, you'll hear like that double kill, triple kill, maniac, savage kill. We just went straight into Savage because it was like everybody died all at once.
That is actually insane. But looking at the invade coming out here from the side of Ragnarok, a bit little eager, but Sicilian gonna be able to escape using the Sanguine Claws quite nicely.
Yeah, the Sanguine Claws to the rescue. Though, Yusung was just waiting in the wings. He was Superman in the last game. Wanted to continue his Superman theme in this one. So they could have provided that little bit of escapability for his team. But, as you said, that early game aggression caused a little bit of problems. Now you can see the counter engage is on here from Warlords Reborn. Akai just zoning out this Gatto. But Gatto pops the vengeance. Now they want to go in for the engagement. Oh my goodness, Popul and Cooper just escapes barely by the skin of his teeth. And it's going to be Aurora with that first blood. So Overlord getting a bit of revenge for all the kills that they got on him in the last game.
Definitely, but even the Yuzong just rotating down here to the bottom, Phantom Seed getting committed by the Leomord, gonna be able to take down the Popple. But even the Yuzong had to rotate to the bottom just to help his team, but that does leave Sora to farm there in the top.
Yes, it does, but this is a full-on jungle invade. Does Leomord have the red tree? He does, so he secures that. They managed to steal that red buff, though Sora kept the farm even.
It's true, and even now the gold lead is a little bit in the favor of the side of Warlords Reborn.
Yes. Just a sliver. Just a sliver. Oh, but there's the Phantom Steed once more. As the Sanguine Claws not on the mark this time, but the amount of damage from the Sekiro there is quite a bit. But the setup into the mix, getting that double set as Akai with a heavy spin spins down too. It's the double kill. Yuzong trying to zone everybody away. Engaging. Oh, pops the Petrify. He has the Black Dragon form. The Bat's Feast does come out from Sicilian. They're just forcing Sora back to the safety of his turret. But there comes that horrid form. Oh my goodness, look at the damage. He's like Zeus with that, except with Thunder Fists.
That was actually insane. I expected the YT to survive there, but he didn't throw out the first skill as quickly as I thought, and he did use the Petrify earlier. That made it very difficult for him.
Yeah, heavy spin just keeping everybody back as the Frigid Glacier did come out from Aurora, though not onto anybody. Now there's engagement onto the Yuzong. They know he has no Black Dragon form, but the Phantom Seed into the mix. But there's that Torrent form once more from Sora. Can they get the counter engaged? Sora says no, thank you, and takes it down too.
The side definitely would want to take care of the Sora quickly, because if Sora manages to snowball, this is gonna be a very difficult match for them.
Agreed. Sora is a very tricky hero to deal with in the XP lane, and I mean Yuzong's already 2 levels behind, which is look at the damage here. He does manage to avoid most of it, and I said most of it is already down to quarter HP.
Yes, even baiting out the Petrify coming out from the YZ, it's gonna be difficult even during the team fights, but the engagement here onto the Gata as well. Even baiting out the AOG just a little bit, but still killing him. This is not a good match for Ragnarok right now.
Yes, a very unconventional draft from the side of Warlords Reborn. But sometimes, and we've seen this throughout the course of the tournament so far, sometimes there's these unconventional drafts, these comfort picks tend to work out for certain teams. And I'm sorry to everybody who's tuned in and saying hi in the live chat, and we're not saying hi back. I was so focused on the action here. Oh, lovely torn apart memory from the Brody as Askeladd gets a kill. In return for his team, just wants to try to give them that opportunity to, in the late game at least, to come back from this early game control that Warlord seems to have.
Definitely, but Brody getting caught out by the freezing coming from the Aurora. They do have to escape, but luckily the Akai already did use the heavy spin, so they don't have to be worried about that.
But you still got Sora to deal with, who's just dragging everybody back. He's gonna go with it. Oh, doesn't have the torrent form set. But the double kill going to Overlord. Flicker play coming through. However, Yuzong, he saw his opportunity. Sneakily into the backline. Got that engagement. Gets a double. Will pay with it with his life, right? So it's a 4-4-2 exchange. But that 2 just making the team fight a little bit more balanced. But we expect Popol and Koopa to just secure this turtle uncontested.
Definitely, but with the way things are going right now, AOG also getting committed onto no one. Oh, yeah, he's dealing a lot of damage. The thing is, Popol is so susceptible to damage, but if he gets his hold on you with the dove, it's almost impossible to escape.
Yeah, and to answer the question in the live, the EMS game, is that next, or is that the off-stream game?
That is the off-stream game.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I have to go for about 15 minutes to go verify the team.
Okay. All right, no problem. Yeah, so sadly, the EMS game will be offline for this round, right? Because we've got so many games to deal with. It's just very difficult to get everything streamed. So sadly, some of the matches will be offline. In future, I know, because we're trying to do this about like a broadcasting station, we will try to get every game featured, but that may not be possible always. Warlords right now, they have translated this early game control into some map control. Brody pops that torn apart memory, but with the light wheels coming out from carry, he just turns out to being a memory. There's the Yuzong, manages to get the knockup. Passive is out here. It's a shutdown kill. Yuzong trying to chase down, but there's the heavy spin pinning him as Akai manages to escape. However, Overlord with the play avoids the avatar of Guardian with a flicker. Popol and Koopa trying to it's a wolf chasing a horse. Right, so this is like a National Geographic as the team comes in just to save the horse, and it's the wolf that dies. Reversal of the food chain. Lord is up, and with that decent engage coming through from the side of Ragnarok, they've put themselves in a pretty decent position to contest for this Lord, and also to maybe spring a comeback. They decreased the goal lead quite significantly. It's only about 1.5k. Meanwhile, there's a big fight here in the mid lane. Akai saying if we can get the Sicilian taken out of the equation, can give us the positional advantage. But there's another pick of Askeladd with the overextension. Now it's Warlords. They've got full control right now to secure this Lord. Yuzong just trying to deal with Sora, who jumps back to safety. Has baited out the Black Dragon form, so that's not even going to be available. As Yuzong is trying to recall, he's going to get hunted down. There's a torrent form coming through as they melt that Yuzong. Leomord with the Phantom Steed into the back line. The passive has been procced, but the control is there once more. They do get a shutdown kill onto Aurora, but Popol and Koopa dishing the damage out there, trying to chase Sora. The Sicilian, but he's just going to get controlled up. That's a 4-for-1 exchange. I don't think that that was in the card, so that was the plan for the side of Ragnarok there. Warlords Reborn, though, with their double MM strat, will be loving this opportunity that they have to draw the series even. Brody with the reposition, built the stacks up, goes for the torn apart memory, doesn't connect with enough damage, not quite. Sora just surviving this. Now it's all a question of map control, the waves coming through as Minis is throwing her hands up in the air. I think she's excited for her 1v5.
Blue team turret has been destroyed.
Alright, so everyone defending here in the mid lane. There's the push through. Heavy spin does come out from Akai, but that's just forcing everybody back. Aurora with the frigid glacier back and the flicker back, setting up for the team. Sora underneath the turret, he's taking way too much damage. It's a 1-for-2 exchange though in favor of Warlords. Though I think they would have lost the momentum. Having committed so many skills to take down the tier 3 turrets, but definitely the tier 2 turrets should be removed from the equation. Holy shields will be popped. Lord's been taken down. The defense is in there. Carrie has other ideas about this tier 3 turret. Oh, he's engaging here onto the Brody. Torn apart. Memory comes through. The AOG does land. Carrie's gonna get taunted up. Does she escape? No. As Gato gets the pick off. Will he survive this heavy spin on lock? Aurora with this frigid glacier has been just... I'd say hats off here to Overlord with those frigid glaciers. On point. Game controlling. The defense here looking a bit difficult for the side of Ragnarok, especially with Popol and Cooper, as we know. One of those heroes is so good at pushing down lanes. There's a Black Dragon form as Juzong taking a lot of damage, but he wants to try to get onto this Popol and Cooper, who's surviving for the most part, but the setup is in there. It's a 2-for-0 exchange. The ability to defend and actually get the lanes pushed out now here for the side of Ragnarok, as they need to gain a bit of map control and get themselves set up for the Lord. But Carrie with the perfect angle comes in. Heavy spin to trap one. This Akai on the heavy spin with the heavy spin. CC immune is CC's been amazing. Look at these heavy spins. It's a very, very high skill ultimate to actually consistently trap people, and Akai's been consistently trapping people. I mean, Caddy right now is fully online, as you can see from the builds. She is starting to hurt way too much. Lord has been melted in moments. This could be the game that draws everything even. So the question now is, how are they going to manage their lanes? Are they going to get the set? They are allowing the Lord to push freely by itself, which is a good thing for wave management, especially with the Sicilian around. Sicilian is one of the best heroes for defense. Lord charges up. They're trying to get the lock on. There's a frigid glacier, but everybody escapes it this time. Heavy spin just forcing everybody back. Lord being allowed to push freely into the base. Carrie pops the light wheel. There's a Black Dragon form. AOG catches onto both the MMs, but there's nobody there to dish out the damage as Carrie is forced back. Sicilian with lovely positioning manages to keep the defense going for the most part. It's Yuzong trying to chase down this Carrie. He gets the passive off, but Carrie's doing some beautiful jobs kiting. But Askeladd says enough kiting. It's not kite season anymore. I'm just going to send her back to the base. So I would say a reasonably successful defense coming out from the side of Ragnarok. But Warlords, it's their game to lose right now. They've got control. They've got double MM. Oh, there's a Frigid Glacier catching onto one. Onto Askeladd. The pin here onto Rawolf, onto the Sicilian. This could be the second damage dealer taken out here. As it's Popol and Cooper takes out the third. This is going to be a 3-for-0 exchange. There's 2 waves that could be synced up. And the potential to lock on and end. Only Leomod with the massive wave clear. They don't have the lock to deal with him just yet. He's trying to get himself into a position to deal with the incoming wave. Sora into the front line. The Phantom Seed does come out. AOG, they're just trying to clear the minion wave. Could this be the option to lock on? The base is down to quarter HP. The minion wave from the bot lane has made it through. Carry is now into the mix, and look at this is a Popol and Cooper, right? A base lock, base melt, and that is going to be Warlords with their their first game or points on the board, which means we're going into the third game in this best of 3. So let me get myself into lobby.
What perfect weather for a desert adventure!
As we just wait for our referees to get the lobbies up and running and set, and away we'll be going.
I just came back. Who won?
The warlords won.
So we're going into a sudden death round.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So if we can get the lobby up and
Also-
running, then we can head into that third and
Together
definitely
with
final
Valeric and
match.
Florin, we'll turn these dunes into a flourishing oasis.
Also, I did notice that we were making a mistake earlier. It's actually not Warlords Reborn, but Dragon's Crew that is Ryu.
Oh,
But I got the names.
okay. Dragon's Crew. I thought that was okay. My apologies
Yes.
then. Alright, let's just get this time Dragon's Crew and everybody else into the mix. So it's Dragon's Crew 1, Ragnarok. Oh yes. I was saying that
Sorry.
Ryu is like a baby dragon. See what happens when you get old, Lotus. Yeah, see.
But the problem is, I was also the one that made this same mistake. So I think I'm getting old as well.
Well, you know how it is. Maybe it's a lack of sugar. But don't you think it's a Friday night, you should be having something sweet to eat?
My sister has made a lot of cupcakes recently. I think I had enough sweet for a few days.
Cupcakes are awesome. I wonder who was the one who thought of it though, like the original cupcake thinker, thinking, oh, you know what would be nice? Is a smaller cake. And we'll make it in a cup. We shall call it, very cleverly, a cupcake.
Whoever it was, they're a genius.
Yeah. Who I actually believe is a genius food-wise, right, was the person who decided to dig in the earth, pull out a very lumpy-looking blob, name it a potato, slice it up, fry it, and then, chips were born. That person, whoever that was, man or lady, that they deserve a shout-out for all future generations.
That is very true. I mean, the amount of dishes that you can make with potatoes alone is actually amazing, but my favorite stays up chips and potato bake.
Yeah. Potatoes, awesome vegetable. However, let us see what the lobby bands are. Are they going to be good bands, solid bands, meaty bands, or will it be just a bit of a vegetable band? What do we have as our bands coming out here, Lotus?
It is gonna be Sora, X-Borg, Izzy, and Glue.
Yeah, so the Yuzong, definitely a good band, based on the previous game. Sora caused a lot of problems, so you can see why that's been banned out. So, as we said, right, what you pick, what you ban, your strategy that you want to go with, whether you want to draft for a team fight composition, whether you want to go for the pick-off style of play, they actually adjust as the
waiting
games
to
go, especially when we head into a third match like this one.
Time and tide wait.
I'm
for
actually
no
happy
one.
to see the YZ ban because he was using both matches. Didn't do so well in the second match from what I see. But he's definitely still a problem in the majority of matches.
My kiss.
Yeah.
Your team
Will it
is
grant immortality?
He is, as we were
Or
talking about it, like it
death.
was Shroomsy who was the one who was pointing this out. He was like, did you realize that Yuzong had 100% congestion rate in the last M series? I mean, how often would you find 100% congestion rate across an entire tournament? That's a ridiculous statistic.
Your team
Because the highest one I've heard before that was with 1-1. It was with one of the major Eastern tournaments. She had about a 97% contest rate. But 100 is, like you say, insane.
Yeah, it's an anomaly. It's not something that you normally would expect to see, right? But another very strong hero into the mix. Ragnarok this time locking onto the Grok.
Born by thy
Right?
wish.
So Grok is
By lantern's light.
one of those heroes who, I mean, if you, with a Grok, you like to pair it with either a Zetchian or even a Zushin as well. Works very nicely with the
Among
Grok.
the planes,
Kimmy is an option.
equilibrium.
Eve, yeah, can work with the Grok. Can definitely work with the Grok. But I mean, the moment they picked up the Grok, you saw Zushin was picked up by the side of the Dragon's crew. Because they were saying to themselves, look, we don't want to deal with that combination Grok and Zushin, so let us take the Zushin. And I see the
good.
live chat here, Lotus, right, has gotten so used to Nightbot that when Nightbot trolls them, they're trolling Nightbot back.
And it will soon be your burial ground.
Well, Nightbot is one of the funniest bots that I have seen so far, and he's pretty fun to deal with, but he always ignores me, so that sucks.
Yeah, right. He pays special attention to certain people. It's just his way.
He's got favorites.
He's got his favorites. Interesting. Okay, so the Beatrix
It is
ban, just
better
to
to
answer
be
the
feared
question
than
in
loved.
the live chat, the
If
Beatrix
you
ban
cannot
is a
buff.
respect ban from game number 1. So Beatrix was performing excellently in the hands of Askeladd in game number 1, and Dragon's crew, they're like, you know what, we're done with this
They call
Beatrix.
me a hero
No more Beatrix.
Because I saved
and
my
so they banned
nation
it 2
from
games in
falling
a row.
apart.
I mean, the Beatrix did cause a lot of issues, but I'm just happy they also took out the YZ in the last.
Yeah, at last. That use on both matches was just very, very problematic. Less so in the second game, as you pointed out. But it's as you can see, they're like dancing around certain choices here on the XP lane. Going for the Esmeralda pick just to have that ability to sustain with the Lapu Lapu that's been picked up from the side of Dragon's crew. Who have, at this moment in time, a pretty solid draft.
I also like this team fight composition coming out from the side of Ragnarok, but it seems like the side of Dragon's crew has a bit of a counter engage, if I can put it that way.
Still alive.
So they're waiting for initiation, then they can jump in.
Yes. Yeah. But the side of like Ragnarok, right? They went a little bit sort of like their last composition, with drafting around the Fredrin in the jungle. Though their strategy is very high risk, high reward. It's built around team fights, and it all comes down to the Fred, Eve, Grok, and Ixia combos. Because Eve is not known for bursting anybody down. It's more her slows and controls that you need, the real world manipulation. So you're going to need the real world manipulation to try time into the tectonic charge, to time in with the extra control that you get from a Fredrin. And all of that needs to build up to the damage output that has to come from the Ixia. Because the only true source of damage, the only burst capability that Ragnarok have, comes from the Ixia. So if you're the side of Dragon's crew, what you'd be thinking right now in terms of how you want to set up for this game is you've got to start piling the pressure onto that Ixia. Starve her for farm. I know I'm not a fan of people rotating towards the gold lane to set up for ganks, but when you've got a composition that's built so heavily around one particular hero, it's one of the times that strategy becomes very viable.
That is honestly true. So, like it was about earlier, you have to understand how the hero matchups work and who gets their power spikes, and then you have to try to counter that power spike.
Exactly. You gotta use it to counter that power spike. Zushin now just being an annoyance as per usual, but Eve has that extra bit of range. Grok doing what we expect the Grok to do best, just provides a slight degree of annoyance for the YSS in the jungle, and by doing so, they could give Brody the space that they need just to try to deal with the Ixia. On lovely setup here from Grok, but Belleric doing that zoning away, forcing Eve back. Both teams are actually making the same rotation here towards the gold lane. They know that this is going to be the part where the game could be won or lost.
Yeah,
So let's just pause.
I think there's an.
I saw her moving, but just she did move like just a little bit. But I would recommend just double checking this. So Lotus, if you can do that for me very, very, very quickly. I think Shroomzy is came in to correct everybody. He was like, okay, next game is going to be Immortal Order up against Empire Asylum. That's going to be the next game stream. All the games are going to be streamed. I need to actually go and check. No. It's Shattered Empire. Immortal Order Shattered Empire. The EMS game, as we said, was going to be offline. That match comes up next. That's going to be live in maybe about 20 minutes, right? But once we find out exactly what is going on, then we know we should be okay, right? Because it's better to be safe rather than sorry. Because I'm a huge believer in like, okay, when anybody is going to be frozen, right? And we got to give them the opportunity to get themselves in. I mean, we do offer each team a total of 5 minutes for pauses throughout the course of the match. And especially in this draft that Ragnarok has, it's heavily based around this Ixia. And so if she's going to be the one that's lagging and not there, oh my goodness, that's just straight out problems for the side of Ragnarok. And this is a do or die moment, right? Let's be honest. It's a do or die moment for both these teams. So can they, the side of Ragnarok, get themselves together, get themselves set and ready to try to take this game? Or will we see Dragon's Crew pull up like they did in the second game and have a very strong, very dominant performance? It looks like everything is ready and set. We're back into the match. Pauses are out as once more, Dragon's Crew, they're building some control in here. YSS with the rotation very quick here towards the mid lane, forces the Eve back, but senses that Esmeralda with the counter rotation. Meanwhile, here in the bot lane, it's a 3v3. Frederick is quite low, does have the stacks to land that Appraiser's Wrath. Almost catches up the Brody, but now the crystals have been eliminated as Esmeralda just zoning everybody away. So a lot of action. That quick rotation from the Esmeralda just kept the team from potentially dying. But Lapu now getting himself ready and set. Wants to get that little bit of wave control, knowing that the turtle's not going to be started immediately. They need the Belleric to come through. But Ragnarok, they take this opportunity to say to themselves, yeah, free turtle for us.
Definitely in some nice zoning coming out from the Grok as well, but Mountain Sugar coming out from the YSS here onto the Esmeralda, managed to take her down. Ragnarok definitely wants to escape from this. They are outnumbered in this team fight.
Yeah, the wall coming through. I mean, that dam coming through from the Grok, just forcing everybody back. But now it's time for a bit of a jungle invade. Esmeralda is back up and running. This could be a moment for a bit of a counter. The wall being set up from Grok. Tectonic charge into the real world manipulation. There's the combo coming through as Esmeralda is just zoning everyone away. Picks up the double. And, well, I think they like me sometimes at a dinner time. Puts off a little bit more than they could chew, Dragon's Crew.
Definitely. So sometimes it's good to go on a diet, maybe back away from the dinner, but like a full barrage coming out from the Ixia, getting caught up by the Brody here, but he's the one getting caught up by the Eve.
Yeah, lovely flicker play coming there from Askeladd. The Beleric running forward, just charging in, and knowing that Askeladd is quite low. The wall comes through. The tectonic charge just being held for the most part. Oh, the counter-engaged Beleric with the Wrath of Dryads. The Crimson Lantern comes out from Zushin. Fredrin trying to just get a bit of a wraparound, but he will be able to do that now as Esmeralda with the rotations. There's the wall. There's the tectonic charge with the taunt. Real-world manipulation as the icing on the cupcake. If you were there, you know that it's a continuation of our previous joke. And if you don't know why we're talking about cupcakes, well, so sad for you.
Yes, so sad. Too bad. Like Shimsy always says, if they ever want to hear about cupcakes, they can just rewind the stream a bit.
Yeah, I mean, YSS just dashes back to a bit of safety. This Grok has been an absolute annoyance as
Red team hero
Ragnarok, they've been using their composition very nicely. Okay, there's the Wrath of Dryads dragging everybody back, but this Esmeralda so far unstoppable. She's on a mega kill streak. Just Crimson Lantern is out, but Esmeralda is like, I don't care about turrets. I don't care about what damage you think you can do. I've got shields to eat.
Triple kill.
On a triple.
Oh, triple kill going into Esme.
Yeah,
Doesn't
exactly.
Esme always also counter the Zushin because of Zushin's shield going out with the Crimson Lantern?
Yes. But this is
And this is a
yeah, it's not such a favorable matchup for that. There's a real world manipulation. Brody using that ability to dash his second skill, but gets caught out by the real world manipulation and the full barrage. But yeah, it's not a favorable matchup for that for the Zushin, not at all.
definitely not. But Tectonic Charge going onto the YSS, managing to catch him out, and it actually having a pretty good time. Like you said, Ragnarok just helping the Ixia to farm because their composition is built around her.
Wrath of Dryads being used a bit defensively. Zushin with the airlift onto the Esmeralda. They're like, finally we get to shut her down. As Ixia is trying to get into position to land that full barrage. Forces everybody back. Fredrin into the backline. Grok trying to give him a bit of help. But what? And our praises wrath. If there was ever a moment that there was a clip for an appraiser's wrath, we were talking about it from the first game, Lotus. A triple kill with the appraiser's wrath. A thing of beauty.
That is definitely true right now. And right now, we're almost at the 7-minute mark. It's 14-3 in the favor of Ragnarok Esports, as well as a 5.3k gold lead.
Yeah. The Fredrin once more, the taunt onto the YSS. First phase of the Mountain Shaka has been committed. There's the Beleric with the Wrath of Dryads as the counter engage railway manipulation does pop up. As it's going to be the control here. It's a triple kill going the way of Dragon's crew as they've managed to just sort of get a little bit of a grip around this on the game just before this third and final turtle is up.
Definitely. We were talking during the drafting phase where it's they have this ability to counter engage, and right now they play to their draft pretty well.
Exactly. It all comes down to the power spike timings, right? Because the draft that they have, it requires the Ixia, and this is the combo we're talking about. You got the control, you got everybody set up, they managed to use the full barrage, and maybe not to the fullest of its effects, but a decent. Oh, tectonic charge. They do catch out the YSS. He pops the Mountain Shaka, but Ixia has way too much sustain and way too much of support.
And this Esmeralda is just doing a nice job at zoning. When that team fight was happening and the pickoff on the YSS, Esmeralda was keeping 3 busy at the top lane. No one could bother the Ixia.
Yeah, I mean, as we were saying, right? It's a team built around this one hero. They have to protect. And they also have to now back off a little bit because they did use quite a lot of skills. There's a real world manipulation. They drops onto the Beleric, but he's got the Wrath of Dryads. Now we see the the Mountain Shocker into the backline as YSS realized where the problem was. It's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange, but this appraises Wrath once more. Just so much damage, so much control. It's only Askeladd left here, but he gets a killing spree, manages to take out the Fredred as they were trying to chase him down. Though I think right now it's all more about like you got the kills. If you backed off a little bit, they needed to translate this into even more map control.
Because map control is more important than the kills anyway. But seems like Esmeralda's gonna fall here, and IPS 46 going to the side of Brody.
Yeah. This is where things could start to change. It's always about power spike timings. If you're gonna check Brody's build so far, he's okay. I wouldn't have went for the Sky Piercer. I would have been trying to rush the Sea Halberd into the Malefic Roar. That would, and then into the Malefic Gun as well. That would have been the combo I would have been looking for, just to deal with this very tanky front line. There's a full barrage now coming out, as this is a very, very dirty team fight here in the mid lane. Real world manipulation just on a point. The torn apart memory is there, but Ixia, sustained through all of that, gets taken out, gets a triple kill, right? But gets taken out from the Eve. It's going to be a 3-for-3 exchange. As I said, it's a very dirty team fight in the mid lane.
Definitely, and all of that just before the Lord, but YSS being the one to survive. Like you said before, they also have to focus a little bit more on the turrets. It's been 23-12, a lot of team fights, but no tier 2 turrets taken from either team.
Yes. They're still standing strong, which is quite strange at this time in the game, Lotus.
That is true, but we do see the Mountain Shocker coming out from the YSS, a real world manipulation and full barrage into the mix, but Ixia flickering in the wrong direction right now. Brody going onto her, but she managed to use the Sky Piercer procs. Frederick getting the kill onto Lock with triple kill going in for the Ixia's only decision left right now. Will she be able to escape?
She should be, has the mobility and the control to deal with this. Nice wall coming in from the Grok, just sort of trapped the Zushin into position, but this was all they really needed to get the space they needed to take the Lord. But still, it's going to be Holy Shields up for another 50 seconds or so. Oh, the overextension there from Zushin. Stuck around a little bit too much to try to defend that tier 2 turret. They were waiting for that and then got the wraparound play.
Penalty. If you are 3-1 and you're the only one to defend the turret, it's better to just sacrifice the turret. You do have the Holy Shields.
Yes, exactly. Turrets, yes, are important to gain that map control. There's a full barrage coming out here from the Ixia. Beleric with the counter engage, throws out the Wrath of Dryads, catches onto everybody. The Mountain Shocker is into the mix, but they just couldn't get close enough to dish out the damage. But there's the torn apart memory onto Esmeralda, but this time she ate up enough shields to survive through this. She was kind of chunky for the winter, and survived Brody's massive amounts of damage.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Definitely, and with the Holy Shield popping just before the Lord came in, full barrage once again into the mix right now. Overlord in a bit of danger, does get taken down. Wrath of Dryads no longer into the mix, but the side of Dragon's Crew Ragnarok shouldn't overextend now.
Yeah, look at Fred. Oh my goodness. The Subracer's Wrath. Did you see that, Lotus? That was just, he waited in the base.
Yes.
It was like an assassination.
Definitely right now, but even Esmeralda still playing super aggressive, but she has the tankiness, like you said, to be able to deal with this, and is going to be able to take down the Zushin. This could be an ending angle for the side of Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's Esme just has to worry about the Brody. There's the control once more. Taunt onto 2. Real world manipulation. Wrath of Dryads using it to try to stay alive. As Brody is into the mix. Lapo is going to get taken down once more. They force the Brody back. The wave is in there. Oh, it's a triple for the Ixia. Will she get the Maniac? That's the Maniac. I don't think there's enough time for the Savage. They're not even looking for it. They're like, yeah, let's just melt this base down. And game, set, match goes the way of Ragnarok.
Victory!
Alright, with that being said,
Not
we do
bad.
have...
Good.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Lois. I'm sure you were wanted to praise somebody here.
I was just saying not bad at all. First match was a stomp coming out from the side of Ragnarok. Dragon's Crew managed to redeem themselves, and now was a bit more of an even match. Both of the marksmen doing pretty well, but team supported the XCL quite well.
Yeah, they did. They built the draft around it. They got their sets up. It was a wonderful match. But with that being said, we're going to sadly have to say goodbye to and apologize to Dragon's Crew, and we'll put all the blame on Lotus. She has been having, as she claimed on chat, she's been having too many cupcakes. The sugar has gotten to her head, and she forgot your name. So, Lotus says, I'm sorry to you, but she says
I'm
that she
very
will
sorry.
not stop eating the cupcakes. So, each person has their own problems in this life. We will not judge her. Speaking of judgment, it's judgment time. Immortal Order up against Shattered Empire. That's going to be next. If you don't mind waiting, we'll have the pause screen up for just about a minute or so. It'll give all of us the opportunity to breathe a little bit as we'll be heading into the first of this best of 3 coming up in just a moment.
begin.
This is Cupid's bloody roses on the floor. This is Cupid's. We don't feel, we want more.
Say my name like a sin, like the chaos begins.
This is Cupid's crash. Fighting the crossfire. Let's take in a loaded gun. Say my name, I already won. Sweet like poison in your veins. We don't play fair in this game. Crash my heart into the wall. Hear the crown, then I fall. Pull me in, I push you back. No surprise to the impact. We don't run, we don't hide. Put your heart on the line. If you want me to, but now say it loud. Say it loud. This is Cupid's kiss with a knife in my hand. This is Cupid's left and burn in the air. Scream my name, wait the glass. We all love, we just crash. This is Cupid's hearts go to war tonight. Yeah, your love hits harder than a headshot. But along, yeah, we was that. You're my enemy, you're my drug. I hate you.
All right. So, welcome back everybody to the stream, as Lotus is very, very anxious to let us know who are the lobby bans. So, Lotus, if you could say that again for everybody.
Okay, so the bans so far are Kadita and Grok coming out from Shattered Empire. We're still waiting for the Immortal Order ban.
Well, I've actually heard that this is a strategy. I know Getz was using this in the 1v1 tournament that Paradox ran. And he was like saying, if I delay what I'm doing just to make the other team anxious, because like everyone is ready to get into the game itself, and just causing a little bit of a delay before you put out your bans there is a kind of like a gamesmanship. Get into the heads of your opponents, because half the battle can be won in the game. And what I do notice occasionally is the captains from the various squads that are versing one another can throw a little bit of shade at each other's teams before the games start. Adds some flavor, doesn't it, Lotus?
Does, but the biggest issue is trying to balance that with still saying competing with the sportsmanship and showing professionalism.
Yes. Yeah, sportsmanship is a big thing, right? Though I also like gamesmanship as well. But yes, I agree with you. Balance is what is necessary.
So, Immortal Order going to ban out the Lance and the Yuzong. Yes. Still contributing to that 100% contestation rate on the Yuzong.
Well, Yuzong is very difficult to deal with around team fights. And if you don't want to really deal with a Yuzong around team fights, it's best to just remove him from the equation.
True, but last time we mentioned with Upskingle is some people use Guinevere to deal with Yuzong.
Yuzong, mostly Fredrin can be used to deal with the Yuzong, but it's like the moment he goes in, before the Black Dragon form is committed, you gotta get the knock up into the Violet Requiem just to try to burst him down. But there is a few ways to obviously counter the Yuzong.
The clouds are ever
but
shifting.
it's
Your
not
heart
easy.
remains steadfast.
When it comes to dealing with the Yuzong, would you say micro is more necessary or the baiting out the ult and then going?
both,
My
but
kiss.
micro
Your
would
team
be
Will it
higher
grant
in terms of the list
immortality
of what you need to do.
or death?
There was a conversation I had with actually one of the more
Light me
famous
up
players in
and
our
watch
server,
the world
Your team
burn.
Virus. He was one of the players who went across with the first South African team competing in the IESF. And he was talking about the micro or that like skill levels of XP laners, because he's an XP laner, right? He was like, it's absolutely wild
completed.
when you're looking at
Your team is picking.
the way they control their micro. So even if they're counted in lane, these XP laners are so very good at their micros that they don't actually lose the lane.
It is actually quite interesting
Yeah. I mean,
because a lot of people always talk about micro for marksman, but never so much for the XP liner.
well, you think about side
Valor
lanes,
and
right?
royalty
Side
in a
lanes are
dead body.
generally for
May
at
the
least in the
blood
first
of my
5 minutes,
enemies flow
they
from my
are
spear.
left alone quite a bit. And the XP lane right now, I mean, they control a lot of the outcome of what happens in the game. Their ability to make the correct rotations at the right time. And in order for you to be able to rotate and leave your lane, you can't just, rotate and leave your lane. You got a time when you need to do wave cuts. You got to be able to avoid the skills. You can't be too low if you're going to get poked down too much. So it's a massive thing. And it's going to be a massive battle here between the XP laners, as we would expect. Though they haven't been selected just yet. The side of Shattered Empire, they're going with this Farsa, Freya, Hayabusa composition very early on. So I'm expecting the side of Immortal Order to throw in a little bit more control. And will we get to see, because they need to get something to deal with this Farsa. Because I'm looking at Shattered Empire. Very soon they're probably going to be picking up one more hero to go in with that Freya, just to provide. Actually, it'll be two more frontliners is what we expect.
Come on, Dexter, it's our
Your
showtime.
team is banning.
True. We have seen them use the Freya on the gold lane as well, so that has been a problem for their enemy teams.
Yes. But this minnow pick, right? I'm actually liking this minnow pick quite a bit because it gives the team that a little bit of sustainability to deal with the big burst potential that's coming out from the side of Shattered Empire right now. Though the timing for that is going to be a little bit iffy, right? Like, it's not going to be the most... Okay, look, now they're just throwing sustain on top of sustain. They're like, you want to burst, we're going to sustain.
To live is to trick the
That is very true, but I have a question. What do you think, which roam do you think will work the best here with the Farsa? Because you can go for the Kalea and then try to do pickoffs, especially on the Leomord. This would help the Hayabusa snowball, or should they go for more team fight?
Well, I'd be thinking more of, like, see this Gato pick, right? This is a beautiful pick. It's going to be the one to really get them to, it's like he can, the moment that Netherrealm comes through, that you expect that to be the trigger for the AOG. Because the Netherrealm will give the side of Immortal Order that sustain that they need to turn around and dish out the damage. But if they're controlled up during the course of that Netherrealm, then it becomes a little bit of a wasted Netherrealm. So this is a real chess match between the drafters from the two teams. And look at that from Postbone, locking on to the Gwen. Right? Guinevere into this lineup could prove to be quite good, especially dealing with the Freya.
That is very true right now, and it's probably gonna be the CC here onto the gold lane versus, I think it's gonna be... Who's gonna be the gold lane?
For the side of Io, or the side of Shattered Empire?
Io, because it's either the Minotaur or the Guinevere.
It'll be Gwyn on the gold lane. Maybe a Muncie as well. So it's either Guinevere or Munsathat.
Yep.
And especially with the build that you have, like for the Munsathat, this is the damage build. But personally, I would say Gwyn on the gold lane would have a better time up against the Freya.
Enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
But with that being
Be
said,
true, but
into the game we go. This is the first game in this best of 3 series. All to play for these two teams. It's going to be an intense, exciting match. Immortal Order up against Shattered Empire.
definitely Jake's going in for that. Just being able to get the vision, get the necessary XP, especially early on.
We seem to have a Hayabusa fan here in the live chat, or it's just maybe a fan of the player saying go higher. Leomord up against a higher. Oh, nice poke here onto Jake's, forced back. He's almost taken down. That's the thing with the Minnow. He's not going to have that early game power spike. Now the engagement is here into the jungle as Gatto pops the revitalize. They get the control. Muffin. Oh my goodness. Almost eaten up. Just managed to escape.
The amount of early game damage coming out from the side of Shattered Empire is pretty crazy right now. But I'm surprised that the Farsa hasn't been rotating, giving pressure to the lanes. But with this, she can also help the Gatto going in and putting pressure on the jungle,
Yeah,
which does work in their favor.
Look, personally, I believe that when there's a Farsa, right, everybody expects Farsa to just use that bird form of hers and then move to a side lane. You gotta know when it's necessary to do that. Because, I mean, if you have a Gatto with you, Gatto wants to invade the jungle, you decide you want to fly somewhere else, like, I mean, that's counterintuitive as there's Minnow taking a lot of poke damage. CC with those yo-yos as Hayabusa dancing around gets the shadow kill onto the Leomord, but Muffin turns around with that horse and he says, I am the god here. I'm gonna be taking down 2. As Jinjiro with the hook back onto the Farsa. Farsa gets taken out here. Shroomzy with the pick off onto with that Faramus goes over the flicker play and gets out from the side of the wall. He did get caught by the shadow, but I mean, without any shadow kill, I don't think he is gonna be too worried. Beautiful play there from Shroomzy.
Definitely, but NetherRealm getting poked out here by Sir Lamy, but he also used the Valkyrie's Descent. This will make it difficult during the team fight. Violent Requiem onto him as well. Sriracha using the wings by Wiggles, but right now it's a bit of advantage to the side of IO.
Yeah, that Gwyn counter, beautifully done. Nice second skill. There's a Phantom Seed. However, the curtain call just locking everybody into position, but it's unstoppable for this Faramus. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if you realize the amount of damage output that Faramus has. There's the Munsathar with the King's Calling, just preventing that continuous control that can happen from a Freya. An Immortal Order, but between their teeth right now, have the opportunity to like translate this into a certain degree of map control.
Definitely, they do have the kills advantage, gold advantage, about 2k gold lead. So, like you said, now it just has to translate into turrets.
Yeah. At least some of the holy shield, the shields, not the holy shields, but the shields, as Mr. Sai could be in a bit of danger, uses that hop, skip, and a jump to get back to the safety of the tier 1 turret, and so now there's a potential for a counter gank to go through. Gatto, so Curly just spotting everybody out as Hayabusa just trying to secure his farm, dancing in. Will he go for the shadow kill? No. There wasn't really the opportunity to go in for the shadow kill. He just used that to poke everyone away. The side of Shattered Empire, they need to slow things down a little bit. To stop this heavy potential snowball. Now this jungle invade is on. Hayabusa is going to be forced back. Uses the retribution. Phantom Steed is now out. Farsa get caught out in the middle of everything. Did she lag out there? I'm not too sure. Or was that the pullback? There's the shadow kill onto Faramus as the Nether Realm has been baited out. But will that make a huge difference in terms of what's going to happen around the Lord? I mean the turtle, sorry.
It could, especially with the Farsa rotating to the bot line, trying to get the pick off here, but like they once again want to go for the pick off instead of trying to go for the turtle.
Yeah, Freya into the mix, just controlling 3 people up. Pops that ultimate. Oh, but Gwen with a Violet Requiem into the back line. There's the AOG now as the counter engage. The setup is in here. Freya with the turnaround. She's trying to dish out the damage. Has to flicker back from Leomord, who gets the push back. As godlike for Shroomsy on the Faramus. A lovely pullback to make this a 2-for-1 exchange in their favor.
Definitely, and with Farsa not having been in that fight, it did make things a lot more easier for the side of IO. Otherwise, they would have had to focus on picking her off. And both of the gold laners also having a pretty decent matchup right now.
Oh, the feathered airstrike just almost taken out of Shroomsy. As a Guinevere, as we know, hard counter there to the Freya. Manages to get a pick-off kill. Hayabusa trying to pull those stacks. Goes in with a shadow kill. Phantom Steed has come out from Leomord. The turnaround is there, but the King's calling! That is now a little bit of a wasted skill, I would say. This gives the opportunity now, for while this pressure is being placed into the mid lane, Farsa no feathered airstrike to defend this, and now we've got an Immortal Order. They've got a map control that they were searching for. Taking down 2 turrets, quick succession.
They are going to lose one, but getting 2 turrets for 1 is a relatively decent trade. Also, the hook here onto the CC right now as well, so Phantom Seed. This is definitely a cooked CC.
Yeah, Vengeance not enough to keep the sustain factor on the CC alive. Did get a turret, so maybe a potential good trade-off. Farsa throws out their feathered airstrike, but they know where she is. The hunt is on as Sue is being chased down. Faramus trying to get that final bit of damage. Pops the Netherrealm. Minoan Fury did come out, but a lot of damage being taken there by Jake's on that Minnow underneath the turret. So they do pick up a double kill, but it's a 2-for-1 exchange overall. But third and final turtle should be secured without too much a hassle here for the side of Immortal Order.
But Freya still managed to make the best of what she could, going in and taking down the top turret. Every time the Shattered Empire does lose a turret, they make sure to get one where they can.
Wow. Clever play from here from Immortal Order. They realize that they don't have the opportunity to go to scale very well into the late game. So going for this 8-minute lord, but there's a curtain call, traps onto 2, but the Violet Requiem, beautifully done from Postpone on the Guinevere. It's going to be, what, about 14 seconds, or 10 seconds now rather, for the first lord of the game. So the strat that they used, Immortal Order, should pay off. It should be this early 8-minute lord.
And with the level gap, actually no, both junglers are at the same level. So they will have to make sure to zone out the Hayabusa so that he can't steal.
Yeah, Hayabusa is a criminal. He's one of those heroes that goes into steal quite a bit. It's that quad shadows that he has.
Definitely, but once again, Shroomsy dealing a lot of damage here, working around with a Minotaur Phantom Seed going into the mix as well. Revitalize getting popped out. LG used defensively, not going to be able to help his team. Flicker coming out from Shroomsy, but Sirlami isn't going to fall just yet.
Yeah, lovely play here from Immortal Order. Baited out quite a bit of skills. Got themselves into a solid position as the Lord is coming through. They're going to try to see, maybe if they can get this Holy Shield taken down here in the mid lane before the wave comes through. As you can see, that wave is pushing in the side of a Shattered Empire, trying to get the defense. That minion is so close. That should pop the Holy Shield. That was what they were looking for. Now, they have enough skills on cooldown, though. The 2 big ones, Minoan Fury and Netherrealm, not quite there. So I think they might be a little bit patient in terms of what they want to do. There's the Kings calling into the backline. They were like, no patience here. We have the opportunity. Violet Requiem comes through. As it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. Hayabusa somehow manages to survive. Shroomsy almost with the pullback. But during that, they just needed somebody to actually take down this mid lane turret. It's been eaten down to a little bit like below half health. The opportunity is still in there. CC trying to get the defense. They have that moment in time to get the lock on. This should be a tier 3 turret. Holy Shield should pop the Lord and push him back. But the second wave is through here. Immortal Order with a bit between their teeth this early on in the game.
But Netherworld getting committed as well. The fact that Airstrike, a lot of walls getting committed right now, but it's going to be for nothing exchange. I think the Fates are dealing a lot of damage here. Managed to get down for Shumzi. A beautiful defense coming out from the team, and only 2 from Immortal Order is gonna survive.
Yeah, it's Guinevere with the dash back, but has the mobility to escape. Leomord is there just to provide that extra bit of cover. Granted, that was a good turnaround here from the side of Shattered Empire in terms of keeping themselves safe, because that was a potential winning angle for Immortal Order this early on in the game. However, I would say Immortal Order would be feeling happy with what they've achieved with a 8-minute Lord.
Definitely. I mean, they got 2 inhibitors down, only 1 left, and the wave pressure at the bot lane is still a lot to deal with right now.
It is. It's just under 30 seconds to go for the next Lord. IO, they've got themselves in pole position. It's all going to come down to the discipline factor. But for the side of Shattered Empire, right now, their only hope is to make sure that they can survive this next Lord. So everything comes down to survival. And to do that, right, the best strategy when you're in such a position is to actually freeze the waves yourself. Like
But Flicker getting
yeah, like I know most teams, like, they like to push that wave. This is the time where it's like you need to freeze.
Blue team hero has been
Definitely,
slain.
but with the amount of zoning coming out here from Immortal Order, but Oshum's gonna get caught out, has to use a Flicker to escape. Re-engagement coming out from the side of Shattered Empire, while the Leomord is soloing the Lord, but the majority of Io is gonna fall.
Yeah, in the 4v1 situation, they did lose 2, so this is not the most ideal situation for the side of Immortal Order, simply because, you lost too many players. So it means that there is an option that you're not going to be able to get that, get into position for the win. They are chasing down Hayabusa, who's just dancing around and, making Immortal Order dance around and making my camera dance around while I'm trying to follow his movements.
I was looking at the base because if it wasn't for the Freya that came back just in time, Farsa would have had a lot of difficulty trying to clear the waves.
Oh, lovely play coming through here with the curtain call. Shattered Empire, they have this opportunity to get the set, but the Violet Requiem is into the mix just to keep things a bit even. It's a 2-for-2 exchange, but Shattered Empire would be feeling the happier of the two teams right now. We're not happy overall, right? It's like you lost 2 tier 3 turrets, but with this mini section of the game.
Definitely, but the wave pressure from Immortal Order is pretty good this match because Farsa has been kind of stuck in base for a while now.
Well, look at this with the minion wave. There's actually an opportunity there. They're going for the lock. Immortal Order, take it. And I'm going to say this, right? Minions MVP in this moment in time. The minions were just eating that base. Crazy play from the minions. But well played to Immortal Order. Strong performance in this first match. But as we saw in the earlier game notice, right? The team that had, I think it was Ragnarok, had a very dominant first match. But Dragon's Crew pulled it back to 1-1. I'm sure Shattered Empire would have looked at the strategies and the styles of play here from Immortal Order and will probably be making the adjustments that they need.
Could be. In their draft coming out from the side of
new stories are sure to unfold.
Shattered Empire was not bad at all. It was just the execution that came from Immortal Order. They played according to their early game strength.
Yeah, and they had a lot of how do you say this? They had a lot of counter picks in the mix.
And that Guinevere was doing a lot for them.
Yeah, Minoram in the chat saying the minions are biased. Sometimes I agree with you, right? Because if you ever... I actually investigated this once, right? I was like, okay, look, I strongly believe that minions are biased, that minions do their own thing. So I created a custom lobby match and just let the minions fight each other. And do you know that actually is true? Like some minions just push better than other minions. And I can't explain why, because the map is supposed to be split evenly, both vertically and horizontally.
I do remember I asked you about it because sometimes if you use a custom classic lobby and you're 1v1 and both of you go to the mid lane and you 1v1 to the side turrets, but you'll realize your top lane falls while his top lane falls, and then you don't understand.
Yes, because it's supposed to be even. However, sometimes it's there was a few of the examples I did where one side had better side lanes both ways. Maybe it's been patched out, right? But it's quite weird.
True.
Alright, so teams are getting ready and set. We're just waiting for the final player from Immortal Order to join in. And then we're going to head into the lobby ban. And Lotus will take us through all that banning section.
Yes, as we do see the first bans coming out being the Lancelot and the...
Interesting.
I have a question. Who do you think are the top 3 junglers in the current pack?
As in, or they work in team
heroes.
fights, or just, you know, so that you can actually pick them up in solo queue as well?
Both.
Okay, so if you want just we're looking at just straight out the hero is strong right now. I have to give a vote to Suyu. Suyu's damage output is crazy at this moment in time. So I'm definitely thinking Suyu is a strong contender to be one of the top junglers in this current patch. And then it'll be, like, you know, like your usuals. Your Lancers, your YSS. They're still in the mix.
Interesting.
But
So we do have the bans. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, we're living in this fighter meta right now. So, I mean, when it really comes down to drafting, the important pick's actually going to be the XP lane, and even now the fighter on the gold lane.
The goal has been pretty good. We just don't see it so often sometimes. But with the bans being Lance, Xborg, Feramus, and Rock, I mean, that Feramus was doing a lot, especially getting MVP.
It's Shroomsy performed very well in the Feramus. I mean, Feramus's damage is highly underrated.
But this heart remains steadfast.
That is actually very true because a lot of people, you think you have to build them support style, try to protect your team as much. But once you start building items like the Holy Crystal and everything, and you focus on that mid lane, you realize his damage output is insane, especially when people use that flicker trick, especially very early into the game. They flicker, use that first skill, and then pull you into their turret, and then you think, what the hell is happening?
Agreed. Agreed.
My kiss.
Your team
Will it
is
grant
banning.
immortality or death?
The ban so far, right? When I do get to play this game occasionally, Sora, because I'm playing it a lot solo queue when I do get to play, because when I play it's like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Sora is one of the heroes I ban out. Too many people struggle with dealing with Sora in a 1v1 situation. The side lanes.
Or would you say, speaking of Sora, work in a 1v1 situation, like having the total upper hand?
Leo is within my hands.
Up against the Sora. Look, so the famous strategy to deal with Sora is obviously to pick up the
and
Valentina.
royalty in a dead
That's
body.
the one of the biggest counters that Sora will have in the lane. She's got the mobility, she's got control, a lot of damage in the early game. She's almost like a bit of a bully for the Sora.
1,000 winters.
You can go for the
have led
Yuzong
this
pick.
moment.
Lapu can also work as well. So it's our usual typical, these heroes are meta for a reason. XP laners.
Well, when you said Valentina, I thought about the famous quote where people say, "Your biggest enemy is yourself," because she literally turns into you.
Yeah. Yeah, that. She also makes drafting quite difficult. Though, the sign of Israel right now, they've got a tasty draft. You got the Badang into the
Crowned
Zushin,
by heaven's
into
mandate,
the
my
Guinevere.
legacy shall
That's
endure.
a solid combination in terms of control.
Very much so, and it's going to be extremely helpful during team fights, even the zoning capabilities coming out from both.
I've been waiting for too
But I
long.
mean, I'm not saying that there's anything bad right now about the Shattered Empires draft, right? Because you've got high early game pressure. You got that old but gold combination, the Hylos into the Zetchian, and following up this with the early game potential from a Leomord. That's a strong combo from them as well.
We are glue.
Definitely, it's also going to play well into engagements when they try to engage the glorious pathway into the Phantom Seed. And just before he attacks, you throw in the Fury of the Phoenix. That is a lot of CC and then the damage coming out from the Leomord.
Exactly. So, I mean, you're going to have the glorious pathway set out almost like
incarnate.
the red carpet at a wedding for Leomord to add even extra mobility on that little horse here. Yes. But see, Muffin here, just showing the Suyu. I would love Suyu into this matchup. Suyu's got this full range of skills. He's got a certain degree of sustain, but that's not really why you're playing him for his sustainability. Extremely high mobility. At the same time,
is our homeland.
crowd control, frontline dive potential. Very difficult jungler to deal with, but it looks like they're opting to go for the Gwyn in the
The end
jungle.
of one thing is the beginning of another.
So that means that they're really looking for Immortal Order. They're really trying to lock down that mid lane trio. So they've got a nice bit of synergy between their mid lane trio. But the same can be said for Shattered Empire.
True, and that you also have the two global ults coming out from the Zetian and then the Moskov. So Moskov can split push, join any fights that he wants. But what do you think about the Esmeralda pick?
Well, if you don't have the ability to burst down the Esmeralda, or at least lock her down to get the opportunity to burst her down, she's very difficult to deal with. I mean, this is why IO, you could see that they were planning on using the Gwyn maybe in the gold lane once again, but opting to switch it to jungle just because of that Esme pick. Just to have somebody who's going to be able to deal with the Esmeralda, as in the Lapo.
Welcome to
True,
Mobile
but
Legends.
now they also have to... The Clint versus the Moskov, I would say Moskov has the upper hand, especially during the late game.
All troops deployed.
Agreed. But I mean, look, the first game I would have said I preferred Immortal Order's draft, right? Here, I'm actually kind of loving Shattered Empire. They've got quite a bit of the tools that they need, but a lot of it's going to come down to this battle here in the mid lane. I mean, look at Jake's taking a lot of damage. This is the power of a Zetchian, right? Zetchian has that insane range to get the poke. Sir Curly just forcing Shroomsy to use that flicker very early. But it's going to be or have to be a disciplined performance from both teams.
Oh, nice wall coming through. The Revitalize comes out from the Hylos. He's gonna get lifted up and drop back down, but there's the zoning once more as Mr. Psycho with the Esmeralda rotation. I mean, this is the thing you expect from your side laners, you know? And this is the thing that Esmeralda can do beautifully. I mean, she can deal with whatever pressure is being placed in the lane, has fast enough wave clear, and can get across to change the course of a fight. I mean, that wouldn't have been first blood if she didn't make the rotation.
Definitely not, and it seems like you said, there's a lot of discipline necessary, but I think it's also much more necessary for the side of Immortal Order, because as we saw in Dragon's Crew versus Ragnarok, there's this counter-engage capability coming out from Immortal Order, so they have to play to their strength and to the comp's strength.
Yes, that's true. Okay, I see what you're saying, Angelic. The screen was not full. I don't know what happened there. It decided to do its own thing. Meanwhile, there's a bit of an engage here. Win with the jump through, but has to get back. But Doug, second skill against the wall. Doesn't have the first crack just yet. Now the counter engage is on. Spear of Destruction comes out from the Moskov, as it's going to be a 1-for-0 exchange. Hylos also manages to escape all of this, as Sir Lamy sticking around, sensing an opportunity to at least push the waves and get back his health that he lost. Maybe some of the gold as well.
The side of Shattered Empire managed to get about a 1k gold lead even before the turtle does work in their favor.
Yeah, so that's a pretty healthy gold lead right now for the side of Shattered Empire. Oh, there's the Phantom Steed into the backline. Hylos with a stun onto Zushin, but she turns around. Shroomsy trying to get something done, but these rotations coming through from Mr. Psycho on the Esmeralda. He's like, I think he said from the last game, target acquired. Coming for you, Shroomsy. You killed me with a Pharamus. This is now personal. And if it wasn't personal, you and I, Lotus, will say enough things on the stream to make it personal.
I think we can count enough on you to do that. If you ever want a career change, I would say try to be a K-drama script writer.
I think so. Maybe. We'll try it out. Now, what can Immortal Order do to sort of slow the game down? Because they really do need to slow the game down.
Lapo managing to get a bit of the upper hand right now, but also the jungle invade coming from the Liam ward, it's gonna be difficult for the Guinevere.
Lovely pick off here. That Gwyn with the setup, and this gives the opportunity for their Clint to get a lot of farm. I mean, this play here from both Muffin and Jakes, right? This here's a nice Spear of Destruction. Salami knew. He is like, you people, you're gonna wait for me. The engagement underneath the turret. Excuse me. Fury of the Phoenix has been used. More to defend the Moskov, who has the opportunity to heal back up. But it's going to be now Shroomsy in the bot lane who gets that revenge kill onto onto Mr. Psycho. I think this is a definite personal issue here.
Definitely, but beautiful first character coming out from the down glorious pathway, getting committed as well. Faith is dealing a lot of damage, managing to take down Shroomsy, but killing spree going in for the Sint right now.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1 exchange in the favor of Shattered Empire, but with those pickoffs, Immortal Order have dragged the score back to 7-7 and evened out the gold, more or less.
Definitely, so this is still comebackable. It wasn't that bad coming out from the beginning, but both teams do have some nice scaling into the late game.
That they do. Their late game. It's a very like sort of evenish kind of draft, I would say. Though, like I said, like the combination in the early game, as we saw from Shattered Empire, is very strong. The Phantom Steed is out. The Glorious Pathway on top of that. As Esmeralda is into the backline, she's eating up shields. As we were just watching the Guinevere get poked down. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. It's a safety. Oh, Zenshiro. See, that's not Zenshiro. What is his name?
Peyton?
I'm just gonna say Liam. What the alphabets that he used in his name is just a little bit too confusing for these old eyes of mine.
Oh, his name is Peyton.
Phaeton.
Yes.
Then what's the?
There's a lot of talks about him in the community. It looks like a heart.
It's a heart. Okay. I thought that was one letter. I was like, oh, what is this squiggly thing? Nice control. First crack coming out here from Jakes, but has to flicker back to safety. A bit of a lane swap went on here for the side of Shattered Empire. It's been quite a while since I've seen a lane swap.
Definitely, especially when we heard a lot about the lane swaps going on in Queen of the Mountain.
Yes. So like lane swaps is it's an old strategy. I mean, every strategy has its place. Like there's a time and a place, but it's fallen off quite a bit. Revitalize coming out from Sir Curly, but he's been just controlled as Muffin gets the jump in. There's the first crack, just keeping everybody at bay. Fury of the Phoenix being used defensively this time, because it's a quick 2 pickoffs here for the side of Immortal Order. But they need to start taking this and translating it into map control. There's the mid lane. It's going to be the jump in from Guinevere. Strangely enough from Ayu, we haven't really seen much by the way of rotations from Lapu Lapu.
No, but he has been trying to win his lane getting the turret. There was the one time where he mostly rotates only during the objectives.
Well, I would say this has made this a bit of an even game. If Lapu made the rotation, Immortal Order could have been in a much stronger position in this early part of the game. But I would say they're not worse for wear when it comes to the map control. They've taken all the tier 1 turrets down. And we should start to see Lapu moving across. I mean, we're well beyond the 5-minute mark, where you expect your XP laner to play sort of as a second roamer. Shroomsy in a lot of danger. Has to use the Crimson Lantern defensively. Hylos scouting out, and with this, right, as you can see, it's a 4v4 situation, but you're gonna need that Lapu to come through. Oh, lovely Violet Requiem from Muffin, taking down the right player at the right time as the Lord is up.
Definitely, and this does give them the numbers advantage as well. They're just gonna have to be careful for this Esmeralda.
First crack coming through, but the Fury of the Phoenix used as a counter engage. As you're saying, Esmeralda, she's just diving through into the back line. The Violet Requiem knocks up one, but Muffin, he could be in a bit of danger, but no, Shroomsy comes in there just to get the setup and the health. He's chasing down Sir Curly, who's quite tanky. However, it's a double kill for Gwyn. Could be in danger now as, the dance around, the fast fingers, Muffin with the play. The setup is in there. There's going to be Leomord back into the mix, but he's gonna get chased back as Muffin will be able to eat some health back from the Lord, and this should be uncontested Lord going the way of Immortal Order.
And at least all of the waves are a bit of equilibrium, so they don't have to worry about any lane pressure right now.
Yes. And Mohammed, I do agree with you. Shattered Empire they really need to be focusing objective gameplay. They have a decent combination. And Esmeralda there to lead the charge. As you can see, there's the engagement on to 3, forcing everybody back. Hylos is into the mix, but Badang with the first crack, only controlling up the Hylos. Glorious Pathway does come out, but the amount of damage coming out from Immortal Order is huge right now. Everybody is low, but there's this Esmeralda, the turnaround. They're back into the mix. It's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange. They want to chase everybody, and that's not what Immortal Order were looking for with the Lord available. A little bit of lack of discipline from there, putting on pressure in the jungle when, they could have been dealing with a lot.
Definitely, but also they could have even won that fight if they wanted to. The biggest problem was when the Badang caught someone, it was a high loss, and the Moskov was literally at the back of the wall, just able to deal damage without gaining any damage.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. This is why we say discipline is the name of the game. Why engage in something that is going to potentially backfire like it did?
True, and there was not really much to gain from that fight.
Yes, there wasn't much to gain. It was all about getting yourself set map control, taking down the tier 2 turrets, using that to create even more map presence for yourself. And with that lost team fight, I mean, you look at it, game's back to even once more. It's not even back to even. It's Shattered Empire who now have a almost 2k gold lead.
Yes, I think that's also because they do go a bit more for the objectives. The lanes are pretty equal right now. It's just gonna be about the team fights more.
Exactly. Yeah, but they have the option, and this is where Shattered Empire need to, I wouldn't say switch tracks. It's not like they don't have the team fight potential, but this is where they need to start dragging Immortal Order around the map, using the Leomord, using the Moskov, this decent wave control. Lapo trying to get into the mix, goes in with the bravest fighter, but Leomord, Moskov does get to reposition. Leomord recalled and is now going to try to add an extra number advantage here for the side of Immortal Order, but they're being chased back. And this is a moment in time which is dangerous for both teams. The Lord is up in less than 20 seconds. Now the Glorious Pathway comes out. Zetchin with the Fury of the Phoenix. Moskov, Spear of Destruction. He's into the back line. But Guinevere with the knock-up onto True Muffin with a play. He could have turned this team fight around. Oh, this Esmeralda. Mr. Psycho. Doing a brilliant job. Finally, the control was there. Shroomsy with the pick-off, getting the setup for Clint to get that pesky Esmeralda taken out.
Blue team hero has been slain.
Definitely, but seems like they're in a bit of trouble right now. Shroomsy's gonna be barely able to escape if... The biggest problem was Clint went from the top lane all the way to the bot lane. Instead, while his team was running away, they could have instead gone for a split push from the Clint, because the Moskov already committed his ult.
Yeah. Well, both teams have this team fight setup, so sometimes they may want to try to use it in such a manner, but like at this stage of the game, the wave control is what's necessary. Phantom Steed does come out as oh my goodness, they took out Muffin. This should be the Lord secured. Lapo trying to get the zone away, but now they got the pressure. They're chasing down. Glorious Pathway has been committed as Gwyn will try to get a bit of a counter engage, but down with the first crack. But the control is in here from the side of Shattered Empire. From that. This has been a bit of a seesaw match, and right now they can say they've got themselves into a good position.
Absolutely, but Shroomsy once again gonna get taken down. This does put them in a difficult position, especially with the Leomord dealing so much damage, and a bit on the unstoppable side.
Yeah, I mean, look at this from the Esmeralda. She's gonna walk, and there was so much of shield there. Oh my goodness, that's only Guinevere left alive. We're well beyond 12 minutes. The waves are in here. Phantom Steed has come out as Guinevere with the Violet Requiem and the Winter Crown, but I don't think there's Spear of Destruction forces her back. There's the Lord charging up. They need to buy themselves 10 seconds of space. Can they get this done? As the lock is onto the base. Lord being stopped up just at the right time. There's the Crimson Lantern, but Moskov, he's not interested in anything. The lock is onto the base. Nothing can be done to save them. As just like game number 1, Lotus. 1-1.
Definitely, Moskov did a pretty good job just focusing on the base, because if he did not do that, then the defense would have gone to the side of Immortal Order.
Yeah. Immortal Order, super strong in the first game. Very dominant performance from them. In the second game, this one could have went either way, but the moment it hit that mid-game, and Immortal Order had no way to deal with Esmeralda. Granted, Liam what a performance, right? Picking up the MVP. But it was really, in my mind, it was the Esmeralda that set up this whole game for the side of Shattered Empire.
I have to agree with you. Her rotations were most of the time on point. Lapu Lapu had to consistently defend the lane from either the Esme or the Moskov. He didn't get to rotate as much.
Keep
That
moving
did cause a
forward,
problem for the
so
team
you
fights.
don't get bogged down by the sand.
So as we get the lobby set for this, the third and final game of not just the series, but the day today, it's all to play for between these two teams.
Definitely, and the pressure is going a bit high on all of them.
Yeah. Well, you know, pressure makes diamonds. This is this do or die situation for both teams right now.
It's all gonna depend on who's gonna be able to really make the most out of the matches and make the most out of the pressure. But once again, we see that Ferrum is getting banned out.
Yeah. And the Lance and Xborg as well.
Well, I mean, Lance is a pretty valid ban. He's the most annoying, especially when you have any squishies or try to use heroes like the Zushin. But if you don't have a flicker with you and he's using that last insanity and you're low health, you're kind of cooked.
Yes. True. Very, very, very true. So the lobby bans, Faramus Gruff, Lance and Xbox. I think we're already in set. And we can head into a very tense moment in time. As I'm sure even in the chat, right, the votes are sort of split. 56% Shattered Empire, 44% Immortal Order, hoping for the victory. And so that means the viewership might be more or less split, so it's quite intense as to who you think is going to be winning this matchup. Both teams, one apiece. This is that moment in time. Do or die, win or lose. Will you be taking your place in the next round, or will you be going home?
But definitely now is the time to use the big brains when it comes to the drafting and to play your hearts out.
Yes. Though, you know, whenever I was playing not just this game, but the games in general,
Your team is banning.
we're in the competition setup and the pressure is on. Wow. This is the moment in time where you need your mind to relax, to be a little bit more free in terms of what you need to do. Because when you overthink, overstress, you sometimes overlook some obvious things that you should be doing. So I'd be like, you know, if I'm the captain in the lobby right now, I'd be like, look guys, just focus on the game plan. You know what to do. You know how to deal with the situations. It's not like we haven't been here before. Just focus on your task.
See value in me?
Your team is
You should.
banning.
So basically, we would go with your saying of keep it stupidly simple.
Yes. Gotta keep it simple. Lovely bands coming through here from the side of
Let them play the hero.
Shattered Empire, the
Your
winning
I will be the
bid.
truth this world
And I'm also liking the
desperately
bands from the
needs.
side of Mortal Order. I mean, they're actually, with the bands that they have, Sora and Yuzon,
The light
they're
shines
focused
even
banning
brighter
the
in the
XP
dark.
lane.
Well, like you said earlier, XP lane controls a lot of the results of any match. I'm just, would you say the YC has to be banned or the Esmeralda, which is a higher priority?
Yuzon definitely, right? There is ways to deal with an Esmeralda.
Finish off what was left.
You're just gonna have a certain amount of poke.
Your
And then,
team
well-
is picking.
Or you
Or
steal
the
it?
other way. Yeah, you just pick it yourself. That's a very effective strategy.
Yes, it seems quite so.
Butterflies born by thy wish, guided.
Once
by
again, going with the
lantern's
Liam
light.
Ward, Zushin as well. Zushin getting countered a bit by the Esmeralda. That does work in the favor of Immortal
A
Order.
thousand winters.
But
led
once
to
again, this nice
moment.
draft coming out from the side of Shattered Empire.
Yeah, they've got a very strong early game combination. They picked. It looked like they went for the strategy, right? Let's just lock onto this mid lane trio so that we know we've got this early game pressure and presence. Because the first match they didn't have as strong an early game trio as the side of Immortal Order did, and we got to see how that turned out. That was like an absolute snowball in Immortal Order's favor. But this time around, when they had that ability to control and to deal with that mid lane combination, but iffy, but 50-50 in the first few minutes of the game, and then suddenly they just locked on and took the game.
At least Immortal Order does have to be careful around them. TC is a valid ban because
chose me to
okay, so you also kind of needed to go there, and with the Guinevere out as well. YSS is still open. Hayabusa is still open.
Well, see, the caddy is more of a preventative pick from the side of Immortal Order. They locked onto the carry because they know carry counters their draft. Like both the Esmeralda and the Minnow. And that's the same with the Lunox. So it looked like Immortal was like, we're not going to ban our counters, we're just going to pick our counters.
Same with the Esmeralda, going in with the Lunox. And Lunox can deal pretty nicely with Zushin, as long as she just times that Chaos Ultimate. Just dodging out of the left off from the Zushin.
Yeah. You know, I know Immortal Order was the one that banned out the Xbog, but wouldn't Xbog be tasty into their lineup?
True, but they also didn't want to give it to the enemy because they weren't first pick, so you would rather bat it out than risk someone else taking it if you're second pick.
But to be honest, right, okay, Xbog's been doing well, but Xbog's not in a 5-man scene, in like in the tournament setup. Xbog's too easy to deal with. He has one big weakness. You take out his armor and then he's almost pointless. He needs the armor.
True.
His main thing is that last insanity combination with the true damage. Without that there, I mean, you can get heroes like you pick up an Xbox, go pick up a Zetchian. Just outpoke. Go throw in a Eve as well, right? You can just use the range of skills to just poke down that armor. The moment the armor's gone, like, he's a sitting duck.
Would you say that the Esmeralda can also take that armor because of her passive, or
No. That it doesn't count like how a shield is going to be. It counts as like how armor is, so it doesn't really aid Esmeralda's passive.
it would have been actually pretty bad if it did help her passive?
Yes.
Easy
Then,
counter.
yeah, then it'll be like anytime you see an Xbox, you'll see an Esmeralda. So the drafts are done; they're in, right? It was the Hayabusa as the final pick for the side of Immortal Order, and Muffin's been playing a pretty solid jungle in those two games. So this Hayabusa, one to watch out for. Will have probably the target of Granger in mind. A bit of lane swaps coming through from Shattered Empire. It's Psycho on the Granger, and he's the one who's going to have to really lock down that carry. Granger is a pretty decent hero to deal with the carry in lane.
That is true, but if you're a carry and you have to deal with a Granger, all you have to do is wait for him to use that first skill, and then you dodge to his left or his right, and then you can start poking him out.
Up until level 4. The moment it's level 4, he's got the Death Sonatas.
Yes, then you call for backup.
Yeah. You call for the ambulance. As the mid lane battle is continuing, a nice pickup here onto the Minnow, who decided to go for the Revitalize, interestingly enough.
Well, the Revitalize might help them to play more aggressively, especially during the team fights. Just an issue because it does take a while for the Minotaur to start becoming start playing aggressive because you need that Dreadnought armor and then the anti-heal, and you have to build it according to the match.
I see. Yeah. Oh, there's the Phantom Steed out, but Muffin baited it, and that could be quite telling, especially with the turtle being up. Oh my goodness, and Shroomsy with the steal, but has to flicker back to safety as Granger with the rotation doesn't have the Death Sonata to end it all. And so advantage was there for the side of Immortal Order around this first turtle, as Muffin just zoning Salami away. But I mean, Ruby may be one of the few heroes you'd never want to dive under a turret to kill.
Definitely not. Ruby and Immensa though. But a lot of damage here, but the Iron Fennec going out, stunning out from Muffin. He's gonna be the first blood for the side of Shattered Empire. And Zushin just managed to catch him out. Chaos Ultimate onto the Hylos, managing to take him out. Phantom Steed into the mix as well.
Yeah, and the rotation coming through here from Psycho. Now the Death Sonatas are out as this Ruby is changing the course of the battle. My goodness. Beautiful play here from Salami. The pull back onto Postpone. He's going to get taken out of the equation. They do have Shroomsy locked down. He has no brilliance form, and it's a double kill for Granger. He's like, yeah, take the gold in the from my shield in the bot lane. He just picked up a double with a rotation all the way across the map. Which, to be honest, you should not be walking back to that lane, you know? You could just recall. Or maybe he's saying, okay, let me pick up one more as I go on my way. Granger for Rome.
Surprisingly enough, their gold is still the same from the two gold laners, so it doesn't affect too much, but Alkari has super safe with the Death Sonatas.
Yes, because Granger would have built up some stacks. He's going to go in with a poke. This is what you expect right now, the Granger to do. He's just going to be repositioning. Carry has to be very, very safe. This is looking good for Shattered Empire and a little bit scary for Immortal Order.
Definitely, but we do see the engagement once again. Minoan Fury into the mix, as well as the spinning light wheels. Sriracha going out, but managing to down the Phaeton. Sir Curly is Mightful right now, but Sai doing a lot of damage here onto the Granger as well.
So it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Both junglers taken out of the equation. I will say this, right? If Immortal Order can stick within a 1, maybe at most a 2k gold lead, at this stage in the game, they've got their power spike timing around the 7-8 minute mark, where you will see Lunox really start to melt. Nice control here. Esmeralda's just being forced back up. Minnow, Jake's just going in for the save, but sacrificing himself for the Esmeralda to get back to safety.
Well, you would want the Esmeralda to farm as much because he is still at least to roam, so he can sacrifice himself for his teammates. It's just, it wasn't a necessary sacrifice.
Yeah, so Phantom Steed has been baited out, but it looks like Immortal Order are not going to contest for this turtle. They're going to put pressure onto Salami here. The shadow kill comes up, but Ruby just heals everything back up. As Postpone took this opportunity to push a turret in. It's almost taken out. Immortal Order saying, look, if we can't trade in kills, let's try and trade in objectives. And so that's the first turret of the game going in favor of Immortal Order.
You have always mentioned if you can't go for the turtles, you need to make sure to get the trade-off wherever you can that would work the best.
Yeah. Oh, like it's well. Oof, I'll just go to outside what you're saying there, but look at this dive. The claw play coming through from the side of Shattered Empire. But I'm gonna say this, right? It's going to be still sort of even, right? I know Shattered Empire have the gold and the kills, right? The reason I'm saying this is it all comes down to when Minnow picks up the Flask of Oasis. Once Lunox has the damage output that she needs and carry as well, that's the opportunity. But like what they're doing right now, Shattered Empire is exactly what they need to do. They're just making sure that they have the opportunity to use their early game and snowball. This could be a full team wipe. It's only Muffin left alive on that Hayabusa, and he's trying to get as much objectives achieved as possible.
Yes, that is actually the best option that they can do right now. Squad Shadow coming out. He's gonna get made the kill Shadow, but once again goes on to Sir Curly instead of the Zushin.
Yeah, Sir Curly with that lovely stun underneath the turret. It was an opportunity for Muffin to get a pick-off, right? I'm sure he was thinking, look, maybe I can make a play. But sometimes it's nice to just be a lot more safer. Because, look, I'm saying this, right? I also do the same thing myself. It's like when we're not in a good position, especially when you're playing in the jungle role, you try to force certain things, like just to make the play, to get your team back into something a bit more decent.
But sometimes you also have to think about the consequences of play if it fails.
Yes. So right now, Shattered Empire, massive gold lead. Granted, the only a mod just trying to baits the Minoan Fury. As there's the turnaround, there's the glorious pathway. This is a full-on engagement. Shattered Empire into the mix. Can they get this done? They've got 2 taken down. This will be a third. The zoning done beautifully here. Wave should be pushed in or coming through right now as they will take that mid lane turret, and now the map has opened up. This means even though Immortal Order had that mid-game power spike, it's not gonna matter. They're gonna have to be very, very, very safe. They're gonna have to try to defend the tier 3 turrets. Brilliant Swarm comes out from Lunox as the side of Shattered Empire trying to get the Holy Shield pop, but nothing doing. They save it just in time.
Immortal Order is struggling so much right now. What do you think they can do? Because it's I don't think they're gonna be able to get the power spikes too soon. They're still behind in the farm, and the Minotaur still doesn't have the flask of the Oasis.
Well, they need to make the map smaller. Because oh, nice pick-off. This is gonna be a pick-off onto the Granger. As he gets shut down, but look at the cost of this shutdown. This is gonna be a 2 for 1 exchange, maybe even potentially 3. Shroomsy timing that brilliance form. Now there's the stun. It's gonna be 3. Excuse me, Minoan Fury into the mix, but they're gonna be taking him out as well. This should be 4, but oh no, he's gonna escape. Can he escape? No, he's gonna be taken out. Carry with the rotation just to force everybody back. But that's a 4 for 1 exchange, so the cost of trying to get pickoffs for Immortal Order is too high. Like I said, you gotta make the map smaller. You gotta allow them to let them push the waves in towards you, and just try to farm up that way. You'll be thinking of sacrificing the first Lord, even the second, just to make sure that you can even or reduce this gold lead. But Shattered Empire, they've got the butt between their teeth right now.
Definitely so. And with them, they don't really have too much control over the lanes, it seems. So Immortal Order can capitalize and try to get as much farm as possible. The thing is, this Lunox keeps going for solo pushes and it's not working.
Yeah, the Brilliance form coming out. There's the Minoan Fury. Knocks up everybody. Glorious Pathway is in now. It's the counter engage from Shattered Empire. They take down 3. Make that 4. It's a triple kill for Mr. Psycho on this Granger. I saw somewhere in the chat they say it's the only marksman he can play, but no, he's playing it very, very well. Hayabusa, the only one left to defend. Holy Shield pop. Lord is still up. It's 10 seconds to go, but this, I think we can call it here, Lotus. This should be game, set, match.
It does seem so, especially if they focus on the base right now.
Yeah, they're throwing a little bit of salt in there with those recalls. When you know, it goes with the game.
Victory!
Yes, it is expected.
So well played, Shattered Empire and Ragnarok, the winners of today's best of 3 matches. So strong performance here from Shattered Empire. They took a beating in the first game, right? Came back. The second game was a bit 50-50, and then all of a sudden they said, right, now it's our turn. We took a beating in the first game, and they gave Immortal Order a beating in the second one. But, you know, Immortal Order, you can see the potential for what they were doing is there. I'm not sure. Maybe that the lane swaps that they had, like switching players around, could have affected their synergy. But I'm sure the team will have a plan, come back ready, better and stronger. So we'll be looking forward to seeing what they bring in future competitions. But Shattered Empire through to the next round.
Congratulations to them. They have played beautifully.
And on that note, Lotus, we're going to have to say an unfortunate goodbye to everybody. Because sadly, I have meetings that I need to jump into. So we're going to have to say goodbye and good night to all of you. Have an amazing weekend, as we'll be back, I think it's Sunday. Oh, but I'll check the schedule, right? Don't quote me on the Sunday, right? Because as my team was telling me today, you skip half the messages we sent you. So
No. You skip most messages. Most messages.
Most, right? So I'm sure my team will inform you when the next game is. It's not going to be tomorrow, right? So tomorrow we've got a bit of a breather before we head into the conclusion to Cupid's Clash, right? But once again, thank you all for watching. We will catch